Why I like SkyScanner. So my tip for today is on SkyScanner, which is a flight search engine. It's usually the first one I go to, even before Google Flights. So the reason I like it, so I can pick obviously where I want to fly from, but what I really like is how I can pick, I can't decide where. So I want to travel, but I don't know where or when I really want to go. So I pick whole month. I can either pick the month if I know what month I want to travel in, or I can pick cheapest month. So that will give me um, the cheapest month there is to travel anywhere from Sacramento to anywhere. If I want a nonstop flight, then I will pick that. I don't normally pick that because it limits my search. I also can pick add a nearby airport. I do that because sometimes flying out of San Francisco is cheaper. Then I click for my search flights. Then I scroll through and I see, is there any place in here that's interesting that I want to fly to and I think is a really good deal. So it's everywhere all over the world, Brazil, Belgium, Norway, just anywhere. It gives me everything. So let's say I want to go to Mexico, somewhere in Mexico. Let me see if what's available. So there's Cancun, Puerto Vallarta, Guadalajara, Cabo San Lucas. So let's say Cancun is what I want. So I pick from $241. So just keep in mind that it's looking at the whole calendar. So it's saying if I fly out on the 8th of January and come back on the 13th of January, so that my flight would be $241 round trip. Now that sounds great, right? Well, probably I'm on a really, really cheap airline. The other thing is probably I have like a 20-hour layover somewhere. Like the flight is going to take like 20 hours or something, or it's going to give me two stops. So I never do two stops, but this is how I travel. So obviously you will do this based on your travel. I never do two stops. So I try to do one stop. I look at how long my flight's going to be. So it's 7 hours to get there and 8 hours to get home. The other thing you have to know is that you probably don't get any, um, you can't pick your seats, none of that stuff. So let's just go with Delta here for 398. Um, let's just select Delta and see what that looks like. So it's a one stop in Atlanta. It's an 8 hour and 15 minutes, so it's a long wait. Um, Technically you could get out of the airport and travel a little bit around Atlanta if you want. Um, because you get in at 5:50 a.m. in the morning and you don't leave till 2:05 p.m. So if I was to pick that one, if I have a long enough layover, I will leave the airport and go do something in the city. Um, Coming back though, it is a 1 hour and 46-minute layover. That's super short and worrisome because if this flight right here is delayed by any means, I might miss this connecting flight. So those are things you need to consider for your layovers. Is if it's super, super short and this flight and the flight you're coming in on is late for any reason, you may not make your next flight. So let's say we book this one. So I'm going to guarantee you that it doesn't come with any seats. It may not even come with baggage. So SkyScanner does not book the flights for you. They take you to the airline that's um, offering the flight. So for $90 more, add freedom to choose seats and earn miles in main cabinet. So basically, if I pick the main cabin for 90 more dollars, I get to pick my seat. So let's move to the main cabin so that we can pick our own seats. So I am in the main cabin, so I can basically pick um, a seat. So I like the aisle. I also like to be closer to the front of the airplane because I like to get off. So I can't pick a main aisle preferred. I have to pick like a main aisle, just main. So here's 32. So then my next flight, if I had picked main aisle preferred, like this one, then when I pick it, it's telling me it's going to cost me an additional $54 on top of the $90 I'm already paying. So you have to stick in like the main aisle. So I'll pick the 23D. I mean the main cabin. So now for the next flight, if the flight was really long, these flights aren't long enough for me to pay to be in first class. So, so I'm not gonna do that. If I wanted to be in first class, like if I was doing a Europe flight, I would for sure pay the extra money. Uh, excuse me. So my flight right now is 487.59 round trip to Cancun. I'm in aisle seats where I want to sit. This is a pretty long um, layover, but I'm okay because I actually like. There's a store in Atlanta I like, so I would like catch an Uber to that store, do some shopping, and then just come back to the airport. Okay, so now let's continue and review the pay. So I have all my seats. My baggage allowance per passenger is a carry-on. It's free. I don't get to check any bags, but I wasn't going to do that anyway. But if I was going to check a bag, it would cost me $30. And then I just go on and finish filling out um, the information. The other thing is, I said in one of my other tips, you definitely want to get a TSA pre. Uh, it's only $78, so I highly recommend it. And that's it. You can do trip protection. Um, it kind of depends. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. It really just depends. So, again, that was Skyscanner. It's an amazing website and it's just really good. I use it in Google Flights, some other ones like Kayak and Scotch Cheap Flights and stuff like that. So, but this is one of the ones that I really like a lot. So that's it. Thanks for joining.